back to the Rocket League OCE Championship, proudly supported by Macca's. The Monopoly game at Macca's is back, where 1 in 5 instantly win. Now, for all of you at home, if you don't know, this is Yummy Cheese Man and Courier Lord.
Who are you?
And my name is Hysterics. Hello, very nice to meet you. Good to meet you. I'm here for about 2 hours. Yeah, actually.
It feels like a lie when we say good to meet you.
It's Hysterics Cast
it is
now.
a lie.
All right.
Yeah.
I've changed my name coming through. Now, for all of you who have just joined us from NA or EU, OCE is better. But for the second part of that, they have to have a look at what they're fighting for. We have the biggest prize pool ever at $25,000 US.
$25,000 US, and first place gets more prize money than anybody else throughout any other competition for the entire competition.
Yeah, the amount of money that we are throwing down for this is insane.
Exactly right. But these guys have a long road ahead of them, and in the upper bracket, we have already got Pale Horse through. We have Legacy Esports who have gotten through, who will be joining Jam and Chiefs.
The following match, Scylla Esports against Conspiracy, and also Avant Gaming versus Vinyl Room.
Yep.
I think that fourth match is the game of the upper bracket.
Yeah, especially because Vinyl Room, they are a bit of a dark horse coming through.
Definite dart for horse. Players in that team that have come from last season's league play that have the chance to really go hard. And if they lose, they have a second chance in the lower bracket.
Exactly right. Speaking of the lower bracket, that is where teams end up when they take a loss. You can see Outlaws will be going up against Lynx. I'm really excited to see how that game pans out. They'll be versing Noisies and Toxic.
In terms of organizations, those are two upcoming orgs. Outlaws a bit more established. Lynx brand new to the competition.
Especially in Rocket League, yeah.
And I think there's going to be a little bit of drama, well, not drama, but love and hate around that. Whoever wins proves they're the best.
Sibling rivalry even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Noisies and Toxic is down there. I'm curious to see who they will end up going up against, but this is the game. I mean, Scylla going up against Conspiracy. We were talking about the Scylla changes, and I think starting with them, let's see if this makes a big difference.
It's a bit of a struggle for Scylla. They only just got into the upper bracket in the top 16. They had to reverse sweep Clarity to get Clarity. You know, we saw them got knocked out earlier in the lower bracket, and Scylla struggled to beat them.
Which is questionable considering how we saw Clarity play Courier.
Yeah, that's the big thing as well. They're struggling with all the upper teams as well. So they're having these hard matches against the bubble teams, and they're not winning against the Power 6.
And part of that is because they've just brought in Adzi. And then we have some more bad news today. Normally they'd be playing with Snarf instead of AoE Emp, who is now sub. But AoE Emp's coming in today. Adzi is there today. So it's not the most comfortable team. You compare that to Conspiracy Esports, one of the biggest rising teams here in Oceania.
The Jam
This is their first chance. I thought before, Scylla, undefeatable, but now
I am worried because this is one day. I mean, if you get knocked out today, the lower bracket is your second opportunity. But if Scylla get bumped down, if they don't have their core roster, if they don't have their strength, they're not going to be having the opportunity to go to RLCS.
They might not even get into league play.
That's it. Top 8.
Wouldn't that be because that's a big thing in OCE. We've always had these top teams that knock out everything else, and it's not close. Distinct tiering. But for the first time ever, it is tight. The bubble teams can take out the Power 6.
I mean, I wouldn't even talk about Conspiracy Esports being a bubble team anymore. Like, they are a team that have one more series. They win this, they will be joining league play, and we'll have a brand new team joining us for the OCE Championship.
That's what I'm excited for. In all of today, we're guaranteed to get at least a couple of new teams. We've already had Pale Horse, who were expected, but they're still new. And down in the lower bracket, we're definitely going to get some new teams coming through.
That's right.
But with Conspiracy, we've got this sort of long-standing roster. We've got Hectic and Slurpee Monster. Slurpee for short, but those two have been together for so long.
Yeah.
They've always been just on that bubble. And it's now their time to shine. They split up for a little bit.
They're like lovers.
Lovers quarrel coming through. And they've come back together. They brought Walcott, who came out of ranked, just a ranked superstar.
Yep.
And they've been taking names. They even took down Jam Gaming recently.
Well, that's the thing. They got known as the Jam Slayers for like a whole week. So they have the potential. They've taken out some of the top teams. And Jam is on form at the moment, so that you're beating them at their prime.
Yeah, so considering that, would you say that Scylla have an opportunity here? How do your predictions affect this career?
Well, I think this will be a lot closer than I would have said like a week or two ago. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was only like 3-2 to Scylla.
Okay, Cheese Man, weigh in. That was a surprising prediction.
It's hard. I think Scylla up against Conspiracy, their big advantage is just straight mechanical power.
That's fair.
They've got 3 better individuals, so I think they're going to win it out 3-1.
Well, let's see how they take it as we will be jumping into game. I'm going to be looking at Conspiracy Esports to conspire behind the backs of Scylla Esports and take it 3-0. Yes, that's right. I am the smartest man alive. I'm so sorry. Cheeseman and I will be jumping in. Corey will disappear, and Scylla Esports take to the field.
Big start here for Conspiracy Esports. We need to see them take out this first game because that can be the difference between them going to league play to them hitting $25,000 and becoming professional gamers and them going home with nothing.
Exactly right. And if they go to the lower bracket here, there is such a long road ahead. You have to fight that much harder.
Yeah.
Scylla Esports may not have their full roster, and we're questioning how this will affect them. But Conspiracy Esports, they can taste it. They're that close. And right now, speaking of close, they're in front of the goal. Nice start for Conspiracy Esports.
Conspiracy Esports get the first goal against Scylla Esports off the backboard, and that is huge. 1-0.
With only 35 seconds that have passed, Conspiracy Esports kick this game off to a rising start. Scylla Esports in a bit of trouble. Conspiracy Esports will be kicking this one off fantastically, and I can't wait to see more.
Scylla Esports, they have to get the quick counter-attack. 4 minutes left remaining, and
Yep.
it's not a good start for them as they're looking to build up this pressure.
Adzi probably should have hit that shot. That would have been fantastic for Scylla Esports. Could have had another opportunity to equalize nice and early. But here, Conspiracy Esports getting these big clears and setting it up for Walcott and Slurpee to lock one in.
It's a bit of a quiet defense here for Conspiracy. I think that's going to be their big weakness. Their rotations back there are too deep. They're taking it too casually, and you can't let Scylla, of all teams, get shots on goal.
Yeah, AOEM is such an aggressive player. We've seen him in the past, and his development, I guess his rise and fall. Scylla Esports, if they get this opening, if they really expose Conspiracy Esports, I feel like we could be seeing a very close game. Conspiracy, however, have pushed the ball up, and we're looking at Hectic in defense on the left-hand wing, tries to get it past AOEM. And Slurpee, he'll wait back into defense, and Conspiracy Esports again getting really big clears.
It looks like they're happy with the 1-0 lead. Conspiracy Esports not taking any risks whatsoever, and that's the big advantage of their play. But normally against those top teams, you want to take big risks. You want to just try and out-muscle them.
Yep, because one weakness will be, again, exposed by Scylla Esports. But they can't seem to really get some passing plays started. AOEM loses possession of the ball, but it will go over to Adzi. He follows it through, but already met by Walcott, who's going to come in and come off the wall himself. Walcott in position. Conspiracy Esports, maybe they're ready to set themselves up for another goal, but again, still playing with time here. But they have to be careful, because Scylla Esports are starting to get some real good position.
As soon as Scylla Esports gets this first pass, that is when you're going to see them scoring goals. They're not working together right now. And that's usually their biggest strength, but AOEM, how did that one go in?
Remember, Cheeseman, you said Conspiracy Esports slow on that rotation back.
That is Emp. That is Emp to a T. Rotating upside down, perfect placement in the left-hand side. And that's why I love AOEM.
Scylla Esports will equalize, and AOEM will be a little bit classy about it as well. Dumbo instantly setting it up. Scylla Esports again.
Oh.
Dumbo to corner it in.
They didn't see Dumbo coming out of that left-hand side, right out of the blind spot, out of nowhere. And Hectic just gets dunked because of it.
Scylla Esports get one goal, get the next goal instantly. We just see a big, big power play coming through from Scylla Esports. 2 minutes 30 remaining. Conspiracy Esports started strong, but they have not continued the trend.
They're still playing too defensively. You see them rotating all the way back to net. And then they're not there to hold the pressure forward. And it's allowing Scylla to set up these passes.
That's right. They finally get the clear, and are they still into defense? I feel like the answer is yes. Scylla Esports playing off this left-hand wing. It will be cleared back over, and Hectic's looking to push it forward right through center field. Walcott's there, rolls the ball. It's responded by Adzi. It's a good save, and it sets up the play down the field. But Dumbo almost takes it to the ladder and pushes it through. Conspiracy Esports are starting to respond just that little bit quicker.
Conspiracy Esports, they're still holding on the defense, but they need to get this on attack.
Okay.
They're behind. They're not able to play their safe game anymore.
Conspiracy Esports off the left-hand wing, trying to push the ball up. Let's see if they can continue to improve. I mean, it is only game number 1, but Scylla Esports are ahead by a goal. 1 minute 20 remaining. Conspiracy Esports trying to play off this left-hand wing and control the ball a little bit more. But they're going to go back into their defense now.
Back into defense, not where they want to be, but Scylla can't stop hitting at these balls at the net. Well, there's going to be a shot on, but AOEM normally hits those targets.
Yeah, I think Scylla Esports wanted a little bit more from that, but I mean, they are still playing with time here. They're still playing with that goal advantage. So any bit of pressure that they put onto this goal, we know it will be successful in delaying out the game. But here we go, Conspiracy Esports, they got that first goal by pushing up like this. Slurpee. Oh, should not have happened there.
There's some painful just mishaps coming through. Conspiracy should be passing these balls. They should know where each other are. They're a team that are capable. So it's most likely nerves as they're in the biggest competition of their lives.
That's right, butting heads here with 30 seconds remaining. You saw it just then. Conspiracy Esports could be their last play, but the ball is sent back down. Walcott says no, but AOEM is just going to do the same thing.
Some clever plays by AOEM, saving the time. This is the opportunity. Hectic puts that on, but the save from Dumbo.
That was incredible. Dumbo back in time. They're not done yet, however, Cheeseman. Conspiracy Esports, their last play. A second, but they've fondled the ball, sorry. It'll drop to the ground. Scylla Esports take a very close game 1 win.
Oh, Dumbo coming through at that last moment to save the entire game. And as we said, Conspiracy Esports needed to win that first game. They needed to get that confidence going forward, and Dumbo has shut them down. Going into game 2, if Conspiracy Esports don't get a good start there, it's going to be even more trouble.
I mean, I feel like Conspiracy, there were these windows, these pockets of really great and execution on those plays. But then Scylla Esports always playing to that line of defense.
I don't know what it is with Conspiracy Esports, whether it's boost management or just timidness, but you see that they're on attack. They have 3 people there ready to set up pressure and the goal, and one of them will rotate all the way to the back boost. And all of a sudden, all that pressure is gone. There's no third person to come in and hit that backboard once again.
Okay, so Scylla Esports in game number 1 do take the win. It was close, but we want to look for more adaptation, obviously, from Conspiracy.
Yeah, they just need to play more aggressive, more confident, and they'll be fine. Scylla Esports, we saw a couple of passing plays, but they're not at Super Saiyan level. Yeah, they're not over 9,000 just now.
Not yet.
So they have a little ways to go. And once that happens, Conspiracy Esports will lose their opportunity.
I mean, it's strange because Conspiracy, you were saying that there was a lot of synergy in this roster, and there shouldn't be the butting of heads here. As we move into game number 2, I mean, we are expecting quite a lot more from this roster.
A lot of the time, because they do play so safe, they never get in each other's way. But on the same note, they're not rotating. They're not getting those passes. Again, a straight clear down the pitch, and this is setting up Scylla for a shot.
Scylla Esports there, they are getting the passes, and here's what matters. They're going to control the ball for a little bit, but the ball is sliding through. AOEM back into defense. We'll just clear it over to the right-hand wing. Intercepted by Hectic. We want to see a lot more aggression, but the ball goes over the top. Slurpee back in time. Dumbo's not done around this corner. He will follow the ball and sets it up for Adzi.
Scylla, you saw that goal coming a mile away. 1 and 2. Only one person left back for Conspiracy, and that was a hard save for Hectic. Just didn't quite get it out this time.
Yeah, but a great goal for Scylla Esports. Starting game 2 as strong as they finished game number 1. And this is going to be it. If Scylla can really take another game, we talk about all of that energy, that tempo is going to be lifted. Scylla setting up another goal. 3 members again in defense. We're noticing this trend over and over from Conspiracy Esports.
It's tough. Scylla Esports just have the better touches.
Yep.
See, look at that.
There it is.
A big clear down the line instead of just a soft one. And AOEM, he's showing that he should potentially be back on this core roster.
We thought
the
it
shot
before.
on. What a pass across to Dumbo.
Wasn't expecting that one there. Scylla Esports right through the center. And this is the coordination that Conspiracy Esports are lacking.
And the fact that Dumbo was able to be in that right position, he trusted his teammate so much, he played further forward, and that is the difference maker now for Scylla.
Tell you what, You can have your McNuggets and eat them too. And Scylla Esports in game number 2 are showing us that you don't need any dipping sauce. It is simply mechanics. It is micro as well as macro, yummy cheese, man.
What's micro?
I don't know. It's something to do with...
You mean mechanics? Okay. we'll get that one through. We're figuring out what this guy's saying as it's happening. Jake, I love you.
Sadly enough, I'm so sorry. I try my best.
Oh, that is what we like. Walcott with a big save, and we haven't quite seen them perform so well under pressure before.
That's right. Okay, so Conspiracy Esports, will it be a turn of events? There's still 3 members in defense, and Scylla Esports are keeping up this pressure. Adzi to come into slot in the 3rd. It won't happen yet, but right now we're asking the question of when. AOEM doesn't ask, he tells you, and he's saying now, with the rest of Scylla Esports at the 3-minute mark, still looking really comfortable.
And Scylla keep touching the ball straight to each other. Oh my goodness, Adzi out of nowhere off the backboard. The Spider-Man save. Adzi.
Do we expect anything less how Scylla's
He's
playing
the
though?
sub. Jake, he's the sub.
Yummy.
He's not a core, and he's playing
Not
this
anymore.
well.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I guess.
Scylla Esports are going to have to change their roster up of this game because they're looking powerful here. Still 2 goals up. Walcott cannot secure that first goal for Conspiracy Esports. And Scylla have 2 members rotated on this right wing. They've got 1 in front of goal, and that's Dumbo. They're very spread out. They're using the fan. And look at this. The passing has to come through, and it does when they need it most. AOEM jumps up.
Ooh.
And he's ready to take it. The center in front of that net. Scylla Esports are still playing with time, but they're playing it so well.
Playing it well, but Conspiracy Esports finally get the clear. This is the opportunity they have to take advantage of, but just gets
right
beaten
past.
out. Dumbo has the pass across, but not this time.
Setting it in front of Walcott. They don't care. AOEM is rotating back. Adzi off the wall. AOEM to recover. The ball goes over the top.
2v1.
Dumbo's already gone back. Will the numbers advantage work for Conspiracy Esports? Right now you say no, it's too late. It's not enough for Conspiracy at 145.
They're a counter-attacking team. Conspiracy Esports like defending, they like taking it, but they're not being quick enough to beat out the Scylla defense on the counter-attack, and they just need to pick up the pace. Just do whatever you can.
Yep. AOEM still sitting into defense. Conspiracy Esports, I mean, what can they do? It's a minute 30. They have to make this play work. But every single time there's an impenetrable wall of Scylla Esports. And not letting this goal in is probably the best thing that they're doing right now. An opening, though, and Walcott will get number 1.
Walcott want Conspiracy Esports back in this game as he just crunches that one through past AOEM, but now they have a minute to keep their RLCS League play dreams alive. Conspiracy Esports, can they do it? As we got the next rolling on. Do have Jake just disappeared as he stepped on his mic. But AOEM with a shot on. Slurpee just enough. Walcott, the dribble. He's got it himself. Walcott with the demo. Not quite enough there, going with a little bit of crackly.
That's all right. We're back, however. I believe I'm back with 50 seconds remaining. And we did see a great play coming through there for Conspiracy Esports. 45 seconds remaining, and Dumbo will get number 3 for Scylla Esports. That was great, but Scylla Esports have to be careful here. As we fiddle-diddle-diddle, Scylla are ahead by 2 goals.
Dumbo gets that one in. Great work. Dumbo just holding on. He's played really well, and now we need to see him continue on through the rest of the series. They've only got 1 more game. I can't see Conspiracy Esports getting 2 goals at this point, despite all the effort they're putting in.
Yeah, I think this is a big problem Conspiracy Esports need to look at, because right now it looks like the direction is the lower bracket. They should have had that. Walcott not in the right position. That was their last play.
Mum spaghetti all over.
That was totally like 1 chance, 1 opportunity. Walcott will not be able to recover this, and I believe Scylla Esports will be able to find a nice close to game 2.
And they're the veterans of this region. They've played for so long. Dumbo, since OCE competition began in 2015, and it just shows they're cool, calm cucumbers under pressure.
I tell you what, that's the best part. Being a bit of fruit. That goal, look at that.
That's in, surely.
No.
You saw 1 pixel there. It was nothing else. It was That was in.
You heard what
Conspiracy
Korea said.
are robbed. It was just one goal for their stats, but they were robbed.
You heard what Korea said. It has to be all in. All right, the ball 98% is not going to cut it.
98% should be good. On average, if I got 98% in an exam, I've passed at least, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you haven't completed it fully. Like you passed, but what a silly thing to say.
I want my certificate. I want my high distinction.
You get your high distinction, but you don't. I don't know what you can't.
They
even
don't,
get
that's
100%.
just like an A+, so I don't know about GPM
Look,
over in NA.
let's count it as 2 goals. 3-2 at the end of that game, but Conspiracy Esports doesn't matter.
I thought we were talking about school.
Oh, no, I never went. I have no idea.
Well, the Scylla are definitely schooling Conspiracy
They are.
Esports right now. They're putting on a masterclass and just showing just one step above. And that's all you need to do to be able to win by 1 or 2 goals.
Yep.
If you're one step above, if you've got that slight mechanical advantage and in particular that team advantage, that passing advantage, it's really hard for Conspiracy to play against that. And I keep saying this over and over again. They need to take some risks.
They really do. They really do. This is not the roster that we were hyping up. This is not the play from Conspiracy Esports that we expected. I mean, you guys said it was going to be close, but Scylla may be scraping through. This is not Scylla scraping through. This is Scylla actually putting their foot down.
I mean, at this point, they're going to 3-0, and that'll be my first incorrect prediction.
Ever.
Well, not
Ever. That's right. Game
Yeah,
number 3.
ever.
Scylla Esports are looking so strong with this kickoff. Works for Conspiracy Esports. No one pushes up. And again, we see the defense. It's not even past center field. And Conspiracy have all rotated back.
Hectic, you can see he has the mechanical ability, but a shot, there should still be one there, but AOEM can't finish that
But
one.
the pressure was there, okay? So Scylla Esports still hanging around this net. We have a couple of shots on goal. They're definitely not done. Adzi to drive the ball in. AOEM off the backboard. The follow through from Dumbo. Nice coordination. They're not hitting the shots in the correct direction, but they're still not done. No way! That was left through, and Adzi now looks like an absolute god.
Adzi off the side, catches the entire Conspiracy defense off guard. And Slurpee and Walcott, the communication. Slurpee went up, but he backed out, saying, Walcott, you have a better touch.
And at the end, no one had the better touch. Conspiracy Esports letting that one through. That is not what you want to see.
That's such a shame.
I mean, this is for league play. This is for the best and the brightest, right? The top 8 teams, our best season yet for RLCS. Right?
$25,000 US is on the line for these teams, but it's not about the money. It's about making it to RLCS World Championship, and it's about becoming a professional gamer.
Yep.
So many of these players, and especially here, Dumbo, he does this for a living.
Wow.
He doesn't make a living, but he's trying to, and that is the difference that this season makes. It's all about becoming a professional esports player.
Definitely showing it here, but Conspiracy Esports, I mean, the same dream is on the line for both of these teams. To give up now would be to forfeit and really put yourself down in the morale game. But Scylla Esports showing that they do want to start on that road to RLCS, that they do want to be one of our top 8 teams in our Rocket League OCE Championship. And look at that. This is classy. Scylla Esports are still not done. Adzi secures and cleans up the play.
It was all set up by Dumbo. What a flick!
That was nuts. That was actually insane.
That's so nutty. Dumbo, where was this last season? They almost qualified for RLCS. They got to Game 7 overtime, and then Game 7 again in Season 2 of the OCE Championship. And it was Dumbo who wasn't pulling plays like that. He could have made the difference.
I got to ask, though, when did we ever see Adzi play? I mean, Adzi was always a consistent
Adzi was on the rejects last time.
Yeah.
He was
Not
a
anymore.
reject. Nobody wanted him, and now he's on a top team.
I mean, you got to start questioning, is this really the sub roster? The real answer is yes, but hypothetically, you'd start thinking that Scylla Esports are performing at their max, or not even at their peak, but one of the peaks that we like to see. Scylla Esports are ahead by 2 goals. It's 2:45.
Oh my
and
goodness,
that
AoE!
was nuts. That was an AoE goal.
The fake right at the start, that fake right there was massive. It gave him so much time, and that last flick, he knew that was all he needed to be. He just needed to beat Slurpee.
This is just a highlight reel for Scylla Esports. This whole series has been a highlight reel.
How is AoEM benched? How is he the sub?
Definitely doesn't deserve to be. I don't think anyone
Put him
deserves
on
to
my
be.
team. He'll carry me to RLCS.
Just like that again. This is honestly Conspiracy Esports. They've kind of had enough. They've stepped back a little bit, and Scylla Esports are cleaning this up like a mess in the hallway.
AOEM, solid shots. There's no mess in that hallway anymore.
No.
This game's over. It's 4-0. I don't call games over until it's like 30 seconds left. But 2.5 minutes, and Scylla Esports are crushing it this hard. Right now, how can you say the Conspiracy are in a place where they can even come back?
These guys have been working so hard, and Scylla Esports, the work is paying off here. I mean, it doesn't matter what comes through from Conspiracy Esports here. I think they may have just secured it in a clean 3-0 fashion. You would never expect this to be the case with a very comfortable roster from Conspiracy Esports. They have just not performed here today. Or more case of like the Legacy game, like what we saw from Outlaws as well, that Legacy were just outperforming. And I think Scylla have done the same thing here again.
Adzi. Just sneaks that one in with a pass down from Dumbo. Once again, beautiful. The touch out from Walcott, not enough. And they've got so much control over the pitch right now. You can see one on the left-hand side, one on the right-hand side, all times, and one person behind, ready to back them up. And I mean, at this point in time, just watching this game, watching Scylla play, this is where you can garner at home how to play Rocket League, how to position, and how to rotate.
A clean 5-0 is what it's looking like. Conspiracy Esports going to try and play this ball up, but Scylla have been really crushing in this 3-game series, and Dumbo has stepped up. The guy that wants to move his way into RLCS, that wants to make this more of a career, is making it happen here today. This is the start. This is the road. Top 8 teams to go through into league play and then fight for the 2 positions available for OCE.
I'm just surprised. I pegged Conspiracy as playing well right now, and Scylla Esports, I was worried about them. Remember, I said they might not even make it into league play, but they're playing great. They've got AOE Amp there. They're definitely got a shot to make it to the LAN finals and maybe even the World Championship.
That's right, and those finals are going to be so impactful for these guys. And playing on LAN, I mean, that is a very different story, one that we need to talk about throughout the coming weeks. However, with 45 seconds remaining, we have to be realistic and let Conspiracy Esports know that they will be going to the lower bracket here to fight their way through and hopefully impress us coming for the last 2 spots left in that lower bracket.
The advantage is it is a throwdown competition. And for Dumbo and Scylla Esports and AOEM, the only lands they've ever made is throwdown. They've never made any other lands. They don't go to the other lands in the region.
The other lands, yeah.
But they have managed to make it to Throwdown. This is their season. This is their time to try and make it to RLCS. And Walcott gets one for the road.
I mean, yeah, good for Walcott. I mean, Slurpee actually touched it at the end, so he steals away the prize. Look at this.
That's a lack of teamwork.
Nice. It was going in, but Slurpee's like, it's going to be mine. Unfortunately for Conspiracy Esports, 1 goal will not be enough. We all know that. 10 seconds remaining until we count this clock out, and it will be lights out forever for Conspiracy Esports. Well, not forever. At least for the upper bracket. We're going to have to see how they perform against some of the lower teams.
We're going to like bad them if they lose.
No, we're not those kind of people. The ball bounce, AOEM says no. But as we get to the crushing reality for Conspiracy Esports, we have to praise Scylla. We have to, again, go over this 3-man roster, which should not have performed as well as they did. But heck, they definitely knocked my socks off.
They just such good players. AOEM coming through from the sub position. Adzi brand new to the roster.
Yep.
And then there's Dumbo, the ever classic player who's been on this team for so long and held them together. It just almost seemed like Conspiracy couldn't win at all the entire time.
And each game got better and better, Chris. Scylla Esports coming out of the gates rolling here.
It was wrong. I'm just going to put that on the table.
You're never wrong.
I was wrong too. I said 3-1.
Yeah, so that was a lot less close than I was thinking. That was like a murder stomp.
I mean,
that was...
They got their tentacle arms and ripping people apart.
Full Odyssey style, ancient Greeks.
I'm glad you went to Odyssey. I was thinking of something totally different. But let's
does not surprise me at all.
No, I'm normal. Be honest. Actually, don't be honest. We might go off the wrong path. Scylla Esports, 3-0. I was expecting 3-1, 3-2 if Scylla were going to take it, but 3-0?
Oh, yeah. Like my notes is just like an empty page. I started
like
and I was like,
Scylla.
this is gonna be close. Get the pen out, like, oh, that was a good save from Dumbo. And I was like, oh, the game's like over.
You have
And
to
I
speak
just-
about those saves from Dumbo.
Yeah.
Dumbo coming in huge. Adzi as well. The Spider-Man save in game number 2.
Oh, yeah.
They kept those 2 goals, kept them in those games well and truly, and it meant that game 3, they didn't need to make that. They just
right.
crushed it already.
So I was going to say that Conspiracy Esports, we were talking about defense, we were talking about how it was kind of obvious to see what Conspiracy Esports were doing. I think that, I mean, they need to learn from this game, but just run me through quickly the defense and the problem with Conspiracy Esports.
I mean, Conspiracy didn't have... They gave them too much time. They would stay back.
Yep.
They'd let Scylla get a pass play, and Scylla have such deadly passes.
Well, that was their whole thing through the off-season and for the season before. The way they got through was fast plays and pressure plays.
Yep.
And if you're giving them the time to do exactly what they need, you're pretty much
You got to
just
mix it
screwed.
up.
Yeah.
Exactly right, but at the end of the day, Scylla Esports will secure another spot available into league play, and a big congratulations to them as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on a 5-minute break, but when we return, we have one more upper bracket match to go.